Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you find yourselves in this weird, wild, wacky world of ours, and welcome to another exciting installment of Darkness in Dublin Season 2, Mage Edition. Oftentimes, in the most ordinary of places, the most extraordinary of things go on, hidden behind closed doors or behind shuttered windows. This is simply the way of life. So it is for the Grand Occult Library of Dublin, that mage seat wherein so much knowledge is kept, history recorded, algorithms solved, and places which man has not seen with his own eyes charted. This afternoon is a special day. As many mages will know, more than likely due to Lottie and the mage social grapevine, because Siren is not
Yes.
going to celebrate his birthdays. However, Lottie was involved.
Yes.
The mages will be informed that today is the birthday, the 100th birthday, to be exact, of the Mage Master Siren. Now, since his father departed the city, the most senior mage within Dublin, and arguably the individual who speaks directly for the nine mystical traditions. But now, Siren would never do such a thing. He doesn't like politics at the best of times. But the Occult Library of Dublin stands open for those who've come to do their well wishes and to celebrate the dawning of a new mystical age, perhaps. And we will begin as you enter the library through the bar that separates it from the real world into the horizon realm in which it is ensconced. I will call out your names. Lottie will be standing, waiting for you all on the other side of the on the other side of the entranceway to the library. So, if you would please introduce yourself. First of all, we have Mary. Mary.
All right. So a very cheery young woman enters the library, heads over to Lottie because she looks like she's standing there officially. She has bright purple hair, and her skin, like, you know how when people, you describe someone as they're literally glowing, she kind of has that thing going on where she just looks so healthy, her skin basically glows. And she walks over and just waves to Lottie and introduces herself as Mary.
Hi, Mary. It's nice to meet you. Are you here for the well wishes?
Well, of course. I don't know Master Siren, but I figured it would be a good thing to come by and give well wishes.
That's great. I am waiting for just a couple bit more people. I've note that some people I may know may be coming and may not. It all depends, really. But Chaos. Thy name is Lottie Ortega, at your service. And she'll kind of give her a little bow.
And she'll
Lottie
smile.
has glitter in her hair. Maybe she doesn't know. No, Lottie knows.
She'll just smile and nod and head off to the side.
Cool. The next one up on my introductions list is Ozzy. Ozzy, you're up next.
Cool. Ozzy will come in. He hasn't been here before, so he looks a little lost. He looks like he looks in the picture, except he's also carrying a tablet, like a tablet computer. He's as well as a small felt, small bag that contains something in it. He looks around, doesn't recognize anybody, so he's kind of looking a little lost.
Well, if they can see the young woman with big poofy hair and lots of glitter just kind of dripping off of her, that's Lottie, if you know what you're looking for.
He'll sort of float over, looking lost. Hi. There's a gathering here today. Birthday party of some sort.
How can I help you? Just kind of hum
Yeah,
along with like finger guns. How
and
can I help you?
there's some kind of birthday celebration here today I'm looking for.
Yes, indeed. You're right. You're in the right place. Here, just like open up her coat. Okay, that's not for you. That's for you. You know what? This one. And she'll take out like a sticker that has a cupcake, and there's a single candle on the cupcake, and it says, "You're so sweet. Thanks for coming." And just kind of like, here you go.
Thank you. he, he smirks and steps to one side, I suppose.
All right. Next up on my little list of introductions, Tim, do you exist?
Yep.
You're up next.
Alrighty. Sam finally takes a break from her, at least at the moment, very filled schedule to meet up with some of her mage buddies. She's taken a bit of a sabbatical from just mage appearance. She's been trying to get her mortal business all set up. So this is going to be the first time that she's been out in at least the past few months. Comes on in, she starts to see festivities, and she nods, realizing that this is, in fact, the right place. And as she sees Lottie, she will actually get a very big smile on her face and wave.
Do thine eyes deceive me? Is this the lovely Sam? Maybe. Yes. No. Tell me, girl, where the
It
fuck have
is,
you been?
definitely. I have been handling
Mm-hmm.
there we go, I'm back. She'll say, I've been mostly handling some personal affairs, but I am hoping to get back into things, at least now. It seemed like the perfect opportunity. How have you been?
I've been busy, to say the least. Busy. Hehe. Yeah. But hey, party. Party planning is my favorite thing to do, don't you know? One of my favorite things to do. There's so many
Yeah,
things to
that's my
do.
all-time favorite was DJing.
Yes. I mean, obviously, who do you think picked the music? There's obviously music playing. She'll like snap her fingers and wave around. Be like, do you see this ambiance? Do you hear the like classical music with slight hints of vaporwave? Obviously, my work.
There it is. Oh, there's the synth. Wouldn't be a Lottie party without some electronic.
Yes.
Okay.
With finger guns.
Next up is Heather. Ooh.
So Anna will come in. She does not really look like she's here for a party. She has it's like a large backpack slung over one shoulder. She has an unlit cigarette hanging out of the corner of her mouth. She's got a book tucked under one arm, and she looks kind of out of place.
Wait, what'd you say? I'm sorry, Heather. You kind of cut out.
Oh,
At
is
least for
this
me.
better?
Yes, please.
Okay. So Anna looks out of place. More like a student than someone who showed up here to party. She's got an unlit cigarette hanging out of the corner of her mouth. She's got a big backpack slung under one shoulder. She's got a book tucked under her arm, and she's just kind of looking around like lost. not sure if this is even the right place.
Lottie's nose tickles. It smells chaos. And she'll meander her way, kind of like slip and slide through, duck under people, kind of scurve her way through. Hi!
Hi.
Looking for something, bud?
I
Looking for someone?
guess. I mean, I heard there's supposed to be a celebration for, she'll take a look at her hand. Master Siren?
Ooh. Looks up and down. Narrows her eyes. Question, stranger. One question. Do you like to party?
Yeah.
Sweet! Off we go! And Lottie will kind of loop her arm kind of around her arm, just loosely, so she can totally, like, yank away. Come on, come on.
What, wait, where, okay.
And last but not least, we have Owen, just so we can get the show on the road.
Sorry.
So there's free beer then, yeah?
Looks over. You made it! Yes, come!
Mm. Mm. He will angrily follow.
Yes.
All right. Lottie, I will point out that this soiree is not just those who are gathered here. People have been arriving all afternoon to the point where you would guess. Okay, how will I describe this? Lottie,
Mm-hmm.
the library will have obeyed your commands when it comes to setting up a space for this party to take place. In essence, it will let you warp its reality.
Sweet. Good. She'll need it.
What would you have liked to have done?
She would have liked to elongate the space, kind of lift up the bookshelves so nothing will damage the books. Even though they are protected, she doesn't want anything to happen, just in case. For the windows to open up, kind of like bays around so that light filters in like the Hagia Sophia. For there to be various spaces for people to both migrate towards, linger, and then pass on, as if it's a spiral of going on from one point to another. There are food eating spaces. At one point, one section has cheeses. As you walk on, there are meats. As you walk on, look, there are interesting meads from the old country. What old country? You don't know. It's just called the old country, with a little joke that says 100 years old. And moving on, there are cakes, and then look, there are wursts. There are, like, thicker, heavier meats. There's some sort of animal being sliced up over there. It's already cooked and prepared. Some figure is serving them at your leisure. Your favorite cut is always there for some reason. You don't know why. It's just there when they have it. Sometimes you don't even know why you asked for it. Boom, there are your favorite cut. Move on, move on, move on. And you just kind of spiral around until you come back to the starting point. It's one big circle so that everyone is flowing together, but you're not stuck together, so that everyone can traverse at their own pace and find themselves comfortably. And in the middle of it all is the guest of honor, Siren, with a cute little paper hat that Lottie totally made out of construction paper. She's very proud of it.
Siren is very unused to all of this attention. So he is very, very kind of, he is very red at the moment based on all of the attention he's getting. He normally doesn't even celebrate his birthdays, but once again, Lottie existed. But yes, you will come to this beautifully ornate and filigreed area that Lottie has spent time and energy creating. The food smells delicious. Indeed, Owen, there is free beer. Not only free beer, several different types of beer, both foreign and domestic. Ooh. So the place is rather lovely. You see a number of interesting individuals who are currently milling around the room, having polite conversations with one another. Definitely, most of them awakened beings. However, some of them are evidently spirits and other ephemeral creatures. One particularly interesting individual, who you will all notice, even though she is not very stated in how she appears, she is not very obvious. But those of you who have seen her will know. Hang on, sorry, I just have to get my correct picture. Mostly because I get the distinct impression Owen might go and jump on her for random reasons. And yes, I totally use the Constantine picture because I can. You will see this individual, whom many of you have seen before, only she is sans a very large pair of wings. And is in fact wearing a nice business suit.
Let me see. Ooh!
Excellent choice of picture, Evan.
Mm-hmm.
That is indeed Gabrielle, yes.
My heart did a little pitter-patter. I was just like, oh.
Siren's
Lovely.
mom.
I know. Lottie's just like, damn. Just like, nods. Good genes, good genes.
You will see the two of them. You will see her walk up, and you will see the two of them speak to one another. Does anyone here speak Enochian?
Not yet.
I don't, but I know people who understand it. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Can you be more specific in what you mean?
Yes, in a PM.
Okay, PM me the thing. But when she is done speaking to him, she will turn with that very kind of languid grace, and she will look at you all with very, very otherworldly eyes, and she will say, I'm very pleased to see that what was broken and wounded is now repairing. I'm led to understand that many of you were responsible for correction of certain mistakes that were made. You have my gratitude. She says this looking at Sam and looking at Owen.
Oh, alrighty. Well, Sam replies with, well, it was certainly nothing. Is there a proper way to address you, or is Gabrielle sufficient?
Gabrielle is fine. If we wanted to go into the entire title, we would be here for some time.
Fair enough. Well, the way I see it, it's all the same existence for us.
Yes, I should think so. She reaches out her hand, and Lottie, she caresses she puts her hand under your jaw, and basically so that it kind of covers the lower part of your cheek, if you understand me.
Mm-hmm.
And she will look at you, and she will say, I do not believe it is possible for my son to have chosen better.
Cue the very, very bright blushing on this already dark-skinned woman, and the thank you.
Joe's not done yet, is it?
But no. I mean, I'm normally very eloquent. I swear. Siren, back me up.
What did you say, Marcus? You said something about the show not being done?
He said the job's not done yet, is it?
Define what you mean.
Well, if you don't know, that just means the problem's way bigger than I thought it was.
There are always problems. I asked you a question. If you choose to be ablative, then that is your business. Though I am led to understand from Raphael, you make rather the habit of shooting your mouth off to beings that you cannot comprehend, Mr. Kilkenny.
It's not that I can't comprehend you. Is it the rules are set up so that I'm not supposed to comprehend you?
Valid. So, what issue is it that you're speaking of?
As bylaws and bylaws are what needs to be set down as is. Things have been thrown out of whack, they have.
Not at all, Mr. Kilkenny. You have merely exercised your... You can touch it. She will point up and she will say, you mortals have merely exercised his will. The fact is, you're given free will for a reason. You have exercised it. This is not our concern.
I know, and that's the problem, isn't it?
There's a look of kind of contemplation, and she will say, were we to interfere, simply put, that would violate the tenets of your free will. We are not prepared to do so.
But you see, we've gone and nosed it right up then, yeah?
Oh, absolutely. But that is your right to do.
So now I got to find out. Now, I, all by my lonesome, has got to figure a way how to undo it.
You have a rather high estimation of yourself, Mr. Kilkenny.
I come from a long line of people what take shit off of others and pick it on our own shoulders. It's a family trait.
My. How very interesting. Anyway, if you will excuse me, unfortunately I was unable to get away for too much longer, and my time is vastly running out. I have already had the pleasantries with my son on the day of his birth. So, will you kindly excuse me?
Thank you for being here.
She will look down at you and she will put both of her hands on Lottie's shoulders and she will say, a time will come, and it will not be far, when it is that you will make a decision. But I am happy to say that you make the right choice.
Thank you. I will contemplate this, though I know I probably don't understand the way you mean it. Small human brain.
No, she will shake her head and she will say, your mind is the greatest gift you were ever given. The ability to say yes when you wish to say yes and no when you wish to say no. Never underestimate that.
Okay.
Miss Catring, it is a pleasure to see you again. There's another slight nod of the head.
You as well, Gabrielle. I'm glad you were able to afford the vacation time.
Indeed. Unfortunately, ever since my momentary slip when it came to your friend, I've been more curtailed in my actions. However, if you will excuse me.
Of course.
She will walk away. You will not see her disappear or like a flash of light or anything, but she will round a bookshelf and be gone shortly thereafter. I will be back in just 2 minutes. I need to go to the bathroom. Feel free to roleplay amongst yourselves. New people meet old people, etc., etc.
I forgot to mention that Ozzy's arm is in a sling and is quite tightly done up, so it's not very. It's pretty immobile.
I'm gonna. Sam's gonna address that in just a moment, but first, Sam has something to say to Owen right quick. Just gonna look over. I'm just gonna say, I see you 2 years haven't gotten rid of the chip on your shoulder. That's good. I have a business proposition for you, but not here.
All right, I'm listening. Later, I suppose.
Yes. It deals with exceptional business practices.
You're off your nut, you are. But okay.
Speaking of business, she looks over to Ozzy. Seriously, who did that sling?
Sorry, I missed that, Tim.
She points over and says, "Who did that sling?" She's looking at Ozzy.
Yeah, I did it. Old training in first aid that's long past gone the wayside.
I can tell. I'm fixing it, if you don't mind, that is.
Oh, sure. Thank you.
Yeah. No problem. And I don't think anyone would really want me to roll it. I can, and it's a good. Yeah, she just goes and pieces the sling. What's your name, bud?
Name's Ozzy.
Sam.
A pleasure.
Sam.
Yeah, he said it's a pleasure.
Nope. She said Sam.
Looks like you got stabbed to the shoulder by something big.
I feel like I'm going to have to deal with what I have to.
You cracked up there for a second.
She said, "I feel like I'm going to have to deal with whatever stabbed you." She said, "I feel like I'm going to have to deal with whatever stabbed you."
Oh, yes.
There we go.
Well, thank you. Whatever stabbed me is, yeah, that's a story and a half.
That's fair. I'm going to go and catch up with Lonnie, but I'll see you around. Okay?
All right, thanks.
As Tim takes that opportunity to step away from his keyboard.
Hey guys, I just need to get a picture. One moment. Yeah, this one will do nicely. Tim, a very obviously a very obvious woman of Indian descent makes her way through the crowd. She just she's stepping carefully through them, exchanging head nods and kind of polite conversation with those here gathered. But she will eventually make her way through the group, as I said. Sorry, 1 second. I'm just getting her photo up.
Is Tim still here? I thought he stepped away from his computer.
Did he?
Yeah,
oh,
I think
he
he
did.
did.
Okay. Cool. In that case, hey Heather. There we go.
Yes.
She will go and talk to you.
Oh, nifty.
This woman, pictured here, she's rather stunningly lovely. We're talking kind of the appearance 3 to 4 category range, but she will walk up to you and she will say, "I think I read your last book. Do forgive me for being pretentious, but you were the one who wrote the Spiderweb Heart, weren't you?"
Yes, that's correct.
I have to say that I found it a very interesting interplay. I must say that your characters were vivid and felt real. I was impressed.
Thank you. I do try. I put a lot of effort into my books.
Well, of course you do. I suppose that every book must be like your child, no?
In a sense, yes.
Where are my terrible manners? My name is Ashaya. It is Ashaya Samati. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Miss Shamati. You may call me Anna.
Delighted, I assure you, delighted. Such a pleasant gathering, so many faces that I haven't seen in far too long.
I've only just arrived here.
I see. Where is it that you come from?
Originally? Or
Yes.
most recently?
Originally, I should think.
Originally California.
I see. That is delightful, I must say. And have you been traveling long?
I guess you could say so, yes. I'm actually here by way of London.
How very interesting, I must say. But my apologies. I don't mean to keep your conversation for too long. I'm actually here serving a purpose, as opposed to for my own enjoyment. So I should more than likely see to this purpose.
Of course.
If you will excuse me.
Anna will nod.
She will proceed to walk towards Siren, and you can see the two engage in a conversation. Sorry, people can continue.
So Mary is just standing over with a drink over by Owen, just kind of probably making small talk with him. Or not Owen, Ozzy, sorry. Owen is too intimidating for her. But yeah, she's just making small talk with Ozzy.
I will make small talk with her too.
Lottie is curious about the new people and also kind of wants to see what's going on. So she will kind of migrate over towards the new people, keeping an eye on what's going on. Because
Yeah,
she's curious.
Anna will probably do the same, but she's not right in the middle of the group. She's kind of like off to one side.
She'll kind of be like, "Oh, hi. So where are you guys from? It's nice to have you here." Sort of introduction to conversation, so she can keep her eye. Be like, sneaky, sneaky. She might mutter, sneaky, sneaky.
Mary just smiles and says, "Oh, I'm from California."
I'm from Toronto.
Nice, nice. West Coast over there. I'm East Coast.
Nice.
Yeah. My dad's Irish. I spent a year with him, and that's when I had my awakening, so I just kind of decided to stay.
Cool beans. Hey, things happen for a reason, right?
Yeah. And she smiles like real big.
What about you, Toronto?
I came here to get away from Canada for a while.
Alright. Imagine it's pretty different. We don't have as much snow.
Well,
Or at
actually,
least I doubt it.
Toronto's not exactly. Well, it gets some snow, but it's not a massive dump load of snow.
Alright.
It's one of the more southern cities in Canada.
Alright. Well, hey, I hope you enjoy your time. Dublin's pretty awesome.
Seems to be, well, with the exception of he looks down at his shoulder. It's been okay.
It's been super exciting. We went to some creepy abandoned house yesterday, and we were dealing with like the house was like creating illusions, and like there's this sacrificial cult thing that we had to stop. It was pretty cool.
I mean,
Interesting.
that is interesting to know. Where
Oh,
was this house?
do tell. That sounds intriguing.
On an added character level, I don't remember what the house is called. Evan, are you there? To
It's called Killer Key House Hotel.
all right, she'll say that name. Thank you. Sorry?
No, I'm curious. I'm curious now. My curiosity, that's probably fine. Makes mental note. Visit.
Oh, yeah. It was there was this cat spirit there. I think it was like the guardian of the burial place beneath like the house. It was kind of cool. We have some mages are taking care of it now. The like burial place.
That's good.
Sounds kind of Pet Cemetery-ish.
I'm sorry. What does that mean?
Never mind.
Confused.
Okay. Well, it's good to know.
Yeah.
Usually like to keep my ear on what's going on for various reasons. Like amnesia.
I mean, it's always good to know what's going on.
Awareness is important.
Yeah.
Never know when you'll need it.
Exactly.
By the way, guys, at this moment, you will see a crackling aura of golden lightning flicker around Siren's hands as it smashes into this woman's chest, propelling her backwards some 20 feet, but she lands on her feet. She doesn't appear to be hurt.
Lottie will kind of give some random person her drink. Excuse me.
I had not thought, Master Siren, that you would be so vulgar in such a unique manner. I have told you repeatedly. Hang on, I'm going to flick between pictures because that's easy. I have told you repeatedly, no, you will not have it. Not only will you not have it, but you are banished from this place. Get out. No. I'm afraid that you don't truly understand Inchavi. No. When my master wishes something, he will take what he wants. I am merely here in order to save you the heartache of standing against him. I will not sit and truck with those who would seek to end what is all, who would seek to destabilize all that is out of some mad lust for power. Get out. I'll leave. I will go. My apologies. We had thought that there was the possibility that you might be reasonable. You will see black, smoky, oily tendrils reach up from the ground underneath her before her body is pulled down into them, and she will disappear, leaving a kind of a scorch mark on the floor.
Well, that was rude.
Was creepy.
Do you want to end the party?
Siren stands there for a moment. For the record, that is the first time you've ever seen Siren ever do magic to harm anything. Ever. He doesn't.
It's not a thing. That's why Lottie's like, do you want me to
Yes.
shut down the party?
That might be
All right.
wise for the time being.
Okay. There should be a doorway over there by some of Homework's works on the corner. That'll lead to your office. I'll handle this. I'm sorry.
Well, don't leave us all in suspense, Siren.
Why, Owen? What a perfect time to say, unfortunately, the party is over. We had some rude guests, and, well, it's getting late. It is a school night, so thank you all for coming. Feel free to take all the food. There's a lot of liquor still. Just take it, by all means. Just take it. And if you have any questions, please keep them to yourself.
Let me ask you, Mr. Kilkenny, what does the name Volmos mean to you?
He had to ask.
Well, so it really is a party, isn't it?
Bye, Owen.
Well, yeah, exactly something you can suss out. Is it Miss Cult of Ecstasy? In it.
I'm sorry, one more time?
That's kind of our problem. Vormos is.
The sin of the Euthanatos.
Yes, and it can be addressed later.
Siren strokes the back of Lottie's neck with his hand, just kind of like, we're calming down now. We're calming down now.
It's just sort of thing me and my pistol was built for, isn't it? So what do you know about it?
I know that was one of his acolytes.
Well, it's supposed to all have done shuffled off this mortal coil, isn't it?
I didn't quite hear you.
They're all supposed to have shuffled off from this mortal coil, then, isn't it? At least that's what the party. At least that's what the party line was.
Yes, well, unfortunately, it is easy to corrupt those who can be led down a path. Or rather, it is easy to corrupt those when you know that you will eventually corrupt them. Would you not agree?
I can neither confirm nor deny your supposition, good sir.
Okay, I'm gonna ask because he is big, scary, and made of no. Ian, you would need to have a ridiculous level of mage lore or be a Euthanatos to know who Vormos is.
Fair enough.
Oh, shucks, it's a tiger.
So,
Nefandi lore would also do it, even though it's not. They're not exactly sure if he's a Nefandi. It's kind of weird. They think he is, but they don't know. Nefandi lore would do it though. Siren will sit himself up on the table that he was leaning against, and he'll say, "For those of you who are young and don't know, Vormos was once one of the most powerful magisters or teachers in the Thanatos, but he fell to death in the same way that many of them do. The fact that life is pointless and that all things should end. It's a sickness that can infest their hearts when it is they take life. Now he wishes to stop the wheel turning so that it will all end." That individual was merely asking for a book that I keep in the forbidden section of the library. And obviously I am not going to give one of his acolytes such an item.
So, who wants cake, right?
Cake sounds lovely.
So
Yeah.
the lot of you don't really understand how the ramifications of what just happened, or you just nutters and everything is everything with you?
No, they're dealing with it in the way they choose to deal with it, unlike you who will deal with it in your own fashion. Once again, he doesn't get angry, but Simon is angry. This is the thing. If our new people would like okay, for the new people, you will enter the Library of Dublin. We are doing a wonderful GM hand-wavium, the fact that people can enter as they see fit. Because, I'm not going to go through how you found out how to get in, blah, 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 blah. But you will basically meet a stream of people leaving the library as you enter. You will come to the place where a birthday party was taking place at the center of the library, where you will find this collective group of misfits. If you would like to introduce yourselves, now is a good moment.
All right. I think the only person I would recognize her would be Mary. Oh, actually, two people. Mary would recognize Vince from the night before walking in.
She'll wave at him.
He'll wave at her. Hey, what's going on? Why is everybody leaving? What was the party?
Evidently, there's like some big bad world-ending like catastrophe about to happen, or something like that. I don't know. I don't know the specifics, but I'm sure Master Siren or one of the people who's been around longer could inform you.
Sweet. I guess making his way on inside.
And Ian?
We'll walk down and be like, hey guys, how's it going?
Oh, you came. Sweet.
Yeah. Hey, Vince.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Okay. Everyone seems a little,
edgy.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Siren sits there for a moment before he removes a pocket watch from his coat, looks down at it, and clicks it closed, and he will say, "My apologies, gentlemen. I have just had a very unpleasant person demand a very powerful book from my library that I am incapable of granting them, as I fear that they will use it for nefarious purposes."
Well, that's not nice.
That guy sounds like a jerk.
Sounds quite mean.
Would
So-
it be?
Sorry, 1 second. So Tim, you missed some stuff that as a Thanatos you should immediately know.
Damn, scene's over?
No, it's still
No.
going, but some stuff happened. This lovely young lady came in. Look at how lovely she is. And she walked up to Siren, and they had a conversation. At which point, Siren attempted to murder her.
Oh, shit.
Because, and I quote Siren directly, she came here as a representative of a man named Vormos to look for a book.
Oh, hell no! We gonna catch this motherfucker today!
What the fuck?
Yep.
Motherfucking blowing us up in this motherfucker. Oh, hell. Thanatos me.
She has since departed, but Siren attempted to kill her, was unable to do so, so she basically left after giving her speech of, "Oh, we'll get it eventually."
People are being kicked out of the party. Lottie is handing out cake to the people who stayed.
So, alrighty. Anthony, I'm gonna need to do a scene with you. I'm gonna need to do a scene with the Cabal. Joey was right. The V word got dropped. Y'all need to know what's up.
Apparently.
Cause, post time skip, we're definitely dealing with an escalation. We thought Cypher 9 was the worst, though.
Alright. Okay.
Hashtag fuck Cypher 9.
Hashtag, I thought we were having cake and social. Like,
Why did you think it would just be cake and social with Evan?
We're gonna have
I don't
cake,
know.
social, and death.
Here, listen, take your cake
In that particular order.
in that particular order, probably. Most likely for some of us.
Like the equivalent is during one of Charlemagne's parties, a true fae literally shows up and whoops Charlemagne's ass and is like, by the way, though, gentry for life.
To be fair, it wasn't in that order because Kate came after your murder.
Guys, we are still alive, so continue being in character.
Oh, we are? I'm sorry. I thought I was told the scene was over.
No.
Scene's not over.
I said that I needed to tell you something before we continue the scene.
I'm sorry about that.
No
It's
worries.
all good. Here, have some cake. You've shown up, and now you have cake in your hand from a very flustered Lottie.
Okay, so considering I actually saw that, Sam's just kind of ignoring the fact that there's cake, so she won't thank Lottie for it. She's gonna look to Vince and Hyun, and she's gonna say, "Yes, we're probably going to need a meeting with Forrest as soon as possible."
Understood. I don't
understand what's happening.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on, but everyone seems really upset and angry or
Allow me to explain. Without going into too many of your tradition secrets, I assure you, Mr. Mang.
She'll not to Siren.
Vormos is one of the most powerful magi to ever live, or who lives at the moment. He became obsessed with the concept of the ultimate end of all things, the world stopping, the death of all, the end of the wheel, reincarnation ceasing, the final moment. And so it is that is the goal that he is attempting to bring about. I would refer to it as Armageddon, sans the clarion call and the trumpet sound. One of his apprentices or acolytes came here and requested a book from me. I'm unwilling to give the book. Ironically, it was written by one of the lesser known sects of your order, and it's not so much a book as it is a series of carvings that were done via members of the Undead.
Sam will actually look to Owen when he says that, and she'll say, "This would have been up Jackie's alley at the time. Either way, if Vormus wants it, it's not good."
You think?
That's for everyone in the room. If he wants something, it's a good idea to make sure he doesn't get it. Period.
Copy that.
So, this book. Obviously, it's in the forbidden section in your library for good reason.
One does not go into the forbidden section. Lottie gives Siren a look. Up and down.
It was considered to be too dangerous when it was written.
Nothing. I didn't say anything. How about?
Okay. It was written by a man named Glendarthan. He was a rather powerful seer who envisioned. He described it as the pillars that hold up the sky, but we have theorized it to be the ephemeral nature of the separation between our world and all other worlds, and how it is that they are kept separate from one another. And about if these pillars were to fall, etc., it would mean that there would be no more ability for the souls to pass between these various different planes. His theories. But then again, he shrugs. They were never put into practice.
Or they haven't been yet.
Valid perspective.
So, this might be a dumb question on my part. But I'm going to go ahead and ask it anyway. And I understand this is the toy? Right? That's the plural thing. why is this becoming a big deal now?
Because. Sorry, continue.
Well, little miss, because the problem what became Vormos started as a little problem and kind of ballooned up real fast over the course of a couple years, centuries, issues, or whatever. It always starts small, you see. One question here, a need there. No one even saw it coming when it was happening. The fact that they're actually in the open means that their plans are coming to fruition and they only need a few odds and ends. And they've been doing it under the nose of the entire Mage Council the entire time. Just mind you.
And the two main things to consider are, one, Vormus is incredibly hard to find. And two, when you find him, he will kill you.
But you asked an interesting question. Why now? I think Mr. Kilkenny might be able to answer that question.
Oh, you all know why. You've all witnessed it, but it was no big deal for you because you all care about her ever so much.
Ozzy looks confused.
Well, I'm damn sure I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Very recently, the laws of the universe was broken, and a bunch of bylaws got circumvented by this thing called human free will. As there was, new issues have come up, and people are taking advantage of the indecision of those in power, as it were.
So, universal laws have been overlooked and circumvented, and the people who are supposed to be, adjudicators of those laws have just kind of washed their hands of the matter and said, no, you deal with it?
Well, if you create the problem, you're the ones got to clean it up, innit?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any evidence to back that up, or is that just what you think?
Gabrielle kind of alluded to it slightly.
She didn't say nothing I already know on my own.
It's basically one thing after another. We fix a problem and another springs up very quickly because of what we did to fix the previous problem. And while fixing problems is good, it's become a habit. And so we have to clean up the mess.
I'm gonna
It
put
is
it in.
our mess.
I'm gonna put it in perspective for you, there, boss lady. It works like this: there is a being what has gained extraneous power on a different scale of humanity. However, mind you, he's got worshippers what believe in him greatly. You know anything that sounds like that exists here?
I can point to entirely too many things.
Hope.
I'm sorry, what?
Hope.
Sam actively doesn't know what he's talking about. She doesn't know anything about that kid. She wasn't in that scene. So she is genuinely confused.
What are we talking about? I'm sort of lost.
I think he's talking about the girl Hope.
I understand. I assumed Hope was a female name, but what the hell are we talking about?
I don't know how we got to Hope.
A little bit ago, a bunch of folks got together, were trying to make themselves an archangel, cobbled themselves together a body, got themselves a soul that was made of stupid power, and shoved it in said body.
One slight correction, Marcus. The soul was an ordinary human soul.
The soul is an ordinary human soul. So it's essentially a human soul powered of super free will with the power of an angel.
And thus it is, because it was created by the hand of man, so it is that neither above or below can acknowledge it as theirs. Thus it is stands the balance. It is outside of the rules of both.
I know some Christian mythology. Nephilim, right?
No,
No.
Nephilim would
It's
be within
different.
bounds.
She's
So-
something else.
I have lores related to this. May I roll for what the fuck
Yeah,
is going
I also have 4 dots in theology. Can I roll for this?
Yes, you may.
Alright.
You may both roll intelligence, relevant lore.
I have High Umbra. Would that be more helpful?
Yes, High Umbra would be helpful.
Okay.
So she's more or less something completely new.
Well, she ain't completely new. Well, okay, she is, but what she's done has allowed for anything that fits the bill to gain that level of power with no one to check it.
Basically, if she can do it, others can too.
Or they can use her to do it.
Out of character, what happened to Hope?
She lives with Nathan.
She does in fact live with Nathan.
Sam has 7 successes on intelligence theology, depending on the diff.
Cool. It'll be standard diff. And Anthony, how many successes do you have on your intelligence High Umbra lore?
4.
Okay, I'll give you each different answers because you're looking at the problem from a different perspective. Hi, Sam. Okay, a Nephilim would exist a thing, but that is a half angel, half being of this earth. Basically, what happens when angels have carnal relations, or divine beings have carnal relations with humans? Think of them almost like demigods.
Okay, so that's Siren.
Siren, yeah. What they're describing is a human soul in a divine body.
Okay.
Jeez, this is like the Aryan controversy all over again.
Yeah, that's it.
And Anthony, from your perspective, with the High Umbra lore, that's never happened before. They wouldn't know how to deal with it. They would probably run around in circles screaming.
It just shakes his head.
But the important thing is that, based on what you know, it is free will is really important from this perspective, because angels even do not have free will, not completely. Humans do, and that was God's gift to humanity. If the Judeo-Christian concept exists, so they cannot go against humans' free will. And if humans created this being, even if the humans were being coerced or were being tricked, as long as they were not being tricked using magical powers, it would still be they were doing it under their own free will. So it means that it is outside of either side's control.
That's what he just said. And who did you leave it with?
Just some random hermetic, no big deal.
Oh God.
Oh, okay.
She was left with Rupert, I think. Well, Denofray too. She's not here, is she? The Hermetics kind of stepped in and said, "Oh, don't worry, we'll take care of this," which is concerning beyond all belief, honestly.
We need to go make sure it's actually taken care of.
I can.
Hang on. Whoa, hang on. Tiger, sorry, you're quite quiet. So say what you were gonna say.
Kian's just gonna pipe up. I can check on her and let you guys know, so I'm, a hermetic as well.
Sure, honey, if you could.
Yeah.
More importantly, we need to find where they are here, because as my fellow associate, what has taken the same oaths as I have, knows, is that if one of them here, there's more of them here.
And considering who they're serving, they probably have considerable resources and abilities at their disposal.
Well, that seems like it's your guys' thing, so I will let you guys handle that.
It is going to be everybody's thing
It
very
sounds like
soon.
It always happens.
Everyone's problem.
If it's a problem for one group, trust me, it'll be a problem for you too, and soon.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not, but at the moment, I've not been asked to help.
Can I ask you to help?
Why do we need to ask you to help if there's a problem? It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, and she's new. It's fine.
Because I see a solution from a different angle.
Can we not be petty for 5 minutes?
Hi, I don't know who you are, but I understand your pain. I'm Lottie.
Sam will say, "Oh, I'm listening."
Okay. Listen.
Genuinely.
We have a being that exists outside the current laws and rules of the universe that apply to everything. So at this point, we need a new set of rules that include it.
That doesn't sound like a bad course of action.
Okay, so Sam's gonna. So what you're suggesting is, what are you suggesting? I want to hear more of what you're saying.
What we need is to alter the universal laws in such a way that it includes creatures of this nature, and theoretically that would restore the balance.
Okay, I just want to point out, it sounds like doing that is exactly what got us here in the first place.
Let's let her finish.
Yeah.
Before we shoot it down?
Yeah.
And hopefully that would restore the balance without the need for something equally powerful and yet world-ending to come and swing in the other direction to correct itself.
So you lot have made a study of the balance then?
Me?
Yeah, you. Because I have.
I will not claim that I understand the cosmic forces of light and darkness on an intimate level. However, I do have somewhat of a passing understanding with it, yes.
So you understand that for Siren to be able to harm that individual, they had to be outside of the balance. Then, yeah.
Theoretically, yes.
If it helps, Siren will say, I'm trying to think how best to phrase this. The offer was extended for it to be included. Those who were there gathered choked.
What the fuck do you mean choked?
Why would they choke?
I was outvoted.
Who outvoted you?
Well, the assembled mortals in question.
Yes. Okay, wait. So we were asked, "Hey, do you guys want this to be a part of everything?"
By
and
by my mother's brother, to be exact. Yes.
And they just kind of didn't answer.
Yes.
I was outvoted.
Okay, so okay, alrighty.
And because they didn't answer, because it is immune to the effect of strictures, it shattered Raphael's arm.
Ooh.
Oh.
He who has not felt pain since the fall.
Jeez, Louise, that's okay. So there was an attempt. There was an attempt.
Is this off the table?
Well, you have one slight problem.
Which is?
Currently, the person the personage that we will herefore refer to as the adversary is receiving power from his followers, just as the being Hope is receiving power from her followers.
So to get to the head of the snake, you have to go after the body.
Well, no. You see, every Euphanatos, what has any ounce of fear and has ever heard of or is thinking of the adversary at this point in time is powering him.
I wonder how. Might be able to come up with a
Okay.
solution to that.
Not only that, but it is feasible. Siren waves his hand, and basically you will see two sigils in the air that will basically appear made of light. One of them glimmers and gleams with a white, pure light, and the other is dark and radiates a sickening green glow. And he will say, in order for Hope to be considered and to be placed somewhere within the laws, it would need to be agreed upon by not just one, but both. And these sides would have to speak.
And getting that kind of reunion is not going to be feasible.
You forgot the third party, sir.
So, translation, we would need approval for my Christian friends in the room, I'll just say God. From God and the devil simultaneously? They have to reach an accord on this? Is that what you're saying?
Not Lucifer, no. More than likely someone like Belial.
Right.
But yes. And he who sits on high does not tend to concern himself with the day that you call today, so it would more than likely be through his new herald and representative.
Uh-huh.
Once again, you all have many different names for God. He will denote, he will say, some call him the Father. He will point at Sam. You might call him Vishnu. He's been called Zeus. He has been called many names. But he has lost interest. No, that's not the right word. He does not concern himself much anymore.
Are you telling me that God has depression?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe from the talks I've had with Eris.
Can we
The
not?
talks I've had with Eris, it's
Right, I'll stop. I apologize.
Sorry, hang on. What were you saying, Anthony?
I was just, he looked to us, Samara, and was just like, can we not?
And she immediately stopped because she realized it was going to come bad and she kept going.
Sam, we'll talk later, okay? We'll talk later.
Not entirely correct. He does interact sometimes. For example, I'm led to understand that when Father Belmont was still here in the city, he did something so selfless with such good and noble intent that it actually drew his attention for a split second. There's a shrug, but those instances are few and far between.
Yeah, the split second was not a great idea, considering everything that happened after.
But the prayers of the righteous and the just don't go unanswered. So it could just be just a plea to someone who earnestly believes.
Exactly. Just because you do not see him does not mean he does not work. After all, he works in mysterious ways.
So I wouldn't recommend going to speaking with God directly, since he kind of seems, he sees the sin before he sees the person. But maybe we can go through a representative. I like Jesus. He seems to be cool.
Guys, if I may, just before anyone gets any bright ideas about contacting anyone, I'm going to explain one simple fact. You don't know what you're asking. This is very important that you know what you're asking.
I was just presenting an option. I'm not going to do anything yet.
These are things we should think of and things that you guys have to take back to your group and we have to take back to ours. Our own.
Asking permission is not going to get us anyway, love.
It'll at least give us time to come up with something that may be a little bit more hands-on and not as, or, I don't know, something a little bit more concrete. These are all good ideas, but something maybe together, maybe with more people.
Your enlightened will, all of you possess, and your free will that you possess, as given to you by, let's consider it the positive side of things. You've been given it. You've been given it. Your comprehension and your perception of how it's executed is more important than the thing itself.
Saren, what would be the most ideal thing to ask for, in your opinion?
Siren flicks his ponytail over his shoulder. As you can see, he's thinking. That the strictures that bind those above and below are also placed upon to bind the entity whom you have named as Hope, and to bind her with a name of those above and those below.
Basically give her classification and give her limitations so that she can be within the rules and those like her.
In a manner of speaking, yes.
So, you be considered Elohim or something different?
They would probably need to create a new classification, but that's not beyond the realm of possibility.
In the meantime, how can we protect the book?
The book will be safe here. This place is protected by very powerful and very old magics. Even the great Master Vormos himself would have issue simply smashing his way in here to take it.
Okay, what else can we do then? Because you and I both know this library's seen things.
I beg your pardon?
You and I both know this library has seen things.
Yes.
Maybe tiny little adjustments. Just a little bit more. Just in case.
As I said, ultimately, I do not necessarily know how it is this enemy moves or work or operate. They are not. They are terribly powerful because they want something utterly terrible. To stop all, create the end. But then again, this could simply be one element in a much larger plan. I do not think of this as checkmate. I merely think of this as the opening moves.
The other thing that we need to do is go to the Hermetics and make sure that they know that they and Hope are in danger.
And title-wise, to be sure that they are exactly safe.
But you're going to have to prove it.
If this is a long game, then if they've planned something, then it's already in motion. We just need to figure it out.
You said it would be hard for him to get in. How did she get in then? And what stops him from following her path?
Entering is not the problem. Securing the book is the problem. Bear in mind, when I revoked her right to be here, she was banished from this place. Entities like Vormos are not allowed to enter.
She was an emissary for a reason.
The protections here work in their own ways.
The only reason she was here is because of the birthday party. But she could also just walk in too if she knew what she was looking for. The library does keep open hours.
The third and the last thing that I think we can do right this moment, without going on about rewriting universal laws, breaking the wheel essentially, We need to find out where his agents are. We need to find out how they're operating, and we need to take them down.
Oh, hey, you're fine. You just gotta find the biggest concentration of joy here.
Sorry, what was that, Marcus?
Hey, you catch that, Marcus? What?
All you gotta do is look for the jaw. It follows them around like flies.
Exactly.
But as we are not who we as we are not on the council proper, there is rules and regulations that some of us have to follow if we are to continue this line of adventure, as it were.
So let's go talk to our superiors, and we'll convene again.
My superior is right there.
Ours, a collective, is a royal we. Not just you, Marcus.
Hashtag
Sorry, Owen. My bad. I was just like, what's his name? I was like, what's his name? It's kind of like how Evan calls me Lottie even when I'm not playing Lottie.
To me, you will always be Lottie.
So, yeah, Sam will say, fair enough. It's time we set up a good little get-together. It's been a while.
Well, in the meantime, please feel free to take the cake with you. There's a lot of food. I may have made too much.
One other thing.
Hang on. Sorry, what was that, Tiger?
I was saying Hyun grabs a slice of cake and thanks Lottie for it.
It is pretty delicious. It's butterscotch. Butterscotch. He will look at the two Mutantos in the room and he'll say, would you like to read the book?
Yeah.
Yes.
Very good. If you would kindly return here in a week's time, I'll have it brought out for you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Sometimes you need to understand your enemy so you can understand his next steps.
Yeah. Well, this was a nice first outing.
Looks like I get to take the castigator out for a dance or two.
What was that time, Marcus?
It looks like I'll get to take the castigator out for a dance or two.
More than likely.
Sorry for the crappy birthday party, Siren.
Siren will just smile.
Next time I need, like, a bouncer or something.
Oh, speaking of which, he'll put his cake down and pick up something in a bag and step forward. I did bring this for you.
Oh, thank you. My apologies. I don't know you. What is your name?
My name is Ozzy.
It's very nice to meet you, Ozzy. He will extend a hand.
He'll shake his hand and pass over the bag. If you know the Crown Royal bags from Canada, it kind of looks like that, but not that.
But I tell you what, we're going to cut to a scene outside of the bar as you all enter and leave. Basically, as you've all said goodbye to Siren. Is Lottie staying inside, or does she see people out?
She probably might see people out just to be like, thank you for coming, I'm so sorry. Some crazy person was here.
On the note of that, leaning very casually against an electricity pole, you will see this woman again, smiling.
Rude. Let me see. Do I still have Lottie's sheet? Evan, Lottie has short fuse, doesn't she?
Yes, she does. Would you like to roll the small power?
I probably should. Let me find her, though.
But, yep, you guys will see this woman very casually. As a matter of fact, she's leaning against a car. She's dressed in what would be considered to be very traditional Indian clothes, with a number of very, very nice accessories. Good
Would I have to
afternoon.
roll willpower?
Willpower, I think it's standard diff, so just don't. I think short. Wait, is short fuse a higher diff?
Yes, diff 8.
There you go.
Let me see. Let me find my fucking willpower. Where are you? I'm sure Lottie has willpower somewhere.
That must have taken us too.
At the very minimum, you have a willpower of 5.
You can go places that willpower 5 though. Oh my gosh.
Hey,
Oh,
Tim.
yeah.
Said woman is standing right in front of you guys. You leave the pub.
The bitch is here.
I thought this was just for Lottie. My bad.
No, this is for all of you. Actually. But
Bitchin'.
Excuse me while I roll a willpower.
Yeah, roll the willpower because that's going to determine everything else.
Owen unloosens the castigator and starts.
Ooh, okay.
She good.
Oh, all right. If I may. Lottie, upon seeing the woman, will adjust her paper hat. Calmly step forward. Just a little bit. Just one step or two. Why, I would say it's nice to see you, but we both know it'd be lying. I have a question. Do you often interrupt birthday parties to ask very personal questions and demands of things that you know will definitely be revoked just to cause a scene? It's an honest question.
Absolutely. Yes.
I
understand.
see.
My apologies. I'm merely here to give a message.
And in a public space so everyone knows what he has.
Not at all. My master, she will look directly at Samira, looks forward to the day, for it is coming, when you will kneel and serve him in the coming of the end.
Well,
when my body does that, it will likely.
Sorry.
When my body does that, it will likely be because my soul has already left.
Bear in mind, Samira Khatri, he is the master of fate. He already knows what you will do before you do. It is sweet inevitability.
It's good to know what's going to happen the day after Hell freezes over.
That's sad.
Sorry, Anthony, did you say something?
No, I didn't say anything.
Okay.
Sam just said that's sad. And she'll say, the fact that you, after all this time, still subscribe to inevitability after everything.
All things fall, as all things rise. It is the simple nature of things.
Just depends on in what direction.
We shall see when fate it is plays its hand, but considering we already know in which way the deck is stacked, it is only a matter of sweet inevitability.
Inevitability, time, fate. It all seems like rather lazy work when you think about it. What's the point of something if you're not working hard against it? Or for it? Because then what happens after? If it's all the end, you'll go mad or absorbed by this being.
Yes.
Such stagnant life. Or worse than that.
Yes, Lottie Ortega. The entity who cannot accept the fact that even what she perceives as precious chaos is merely fate and its machinations, perfectly ordered, regardless of how it may seem. We must find chaos somewhere, even when chaos itself is a fallacy.
You would speak my teachings at me? How adorable. The irony and the hypocrisy of chaos and order run entwined. They require each other. One cannot have one without the other. Where there is order, there is chaos. Where there is chaos, there is order to create and to help facilitate. Please, do sit at the throne of Discordianism and speak more if you want. But I have no time. You see, there was a birthday party that I have to clean up.
My message is delivered.
And yet you linger.
She will very casually look at Owen, open her arms and say, "Shoot me."
Are you sure?
Positive.
I use an entropy 3 road to skew the fate of the shot.
So that it does what?
So it's not predictable.
Okay.
Actually, I'm not going to touch you. I can't yet.
You can't what, sorry?
I can't touch you yet.
Why?
It's not time.
How do you know?
Oh, as she asks that, hey Evan.
Mm-hmm.
Sam's gonna just cast Prime 1 and just she's gonna learn what kind of effect she has up.
Okay.
And this is all gonna lead into a quip that she's got.
Okay.
All right, that's 2 successes. What?
She has absolutely no effects on her whatsoever.
Okay.
I feel like that makes it worse.
Sam's gonna tilt her head. You know what? She's gonna. Oh gosh, how crazy impulsive do I want to be? This is the crazy impulsive personality, but still some.
Do it.
Fuck it. She's gonna walk on up to this lady, and she'll say, "You know, I must ask. I never got your name."
Petai.
Ah. Does that name mean anything in Hindu, Evan?
As a matter of fact, it does, Tim. It means she or he or they who are the light.
She'll nod and she'll say, "That is a beautiful name. Is that one that you took, or is that one that you were given?"
It is the one I was given at birth, Miss Cartry.
She'll nod. I believe that, as you've said, you know which way the deck is stacked. Which way the deck is stacked. So it is what it is. However, I will say, I am sorry that we have to oppose one another.
I merely view it as we are on the opposite side of a philosophical debate for now. But I assure you, you will come to see our way of thinking.
We will see. I will likely see you at the temples, yes?
Good afternoon, Miss Cowtree.
Good afternoon.
She will casually lower her hands that she had kind of clasped behind her back, and she's going to walk away. As every fiber in Owen's being tells him to pop a cap in her ass.
look at
Oh yeah, no, Sam's seen people hide effects. Like he literally seen motherfuckers do that. Hashtag High Inquisitor.
He just looks at Sam and he goes, Sam,
Mm-hmm.
the way this works is when I say I can't shoot someone, you say, yes, Owen, you can. Okay?
I've seen multiple.
She is still within range.
Let's keep in mind we are technically still out in the open.
You think I care?
I mean, I kind of do since I'm standing next to you. But if you want to walk across the street...
The Irish police will definitely care. Can't save anybody when you're having to deal with police interrogations and such.
Yep.
On top of that, I've seen people hide magic before.
What I'm saying is they're trying to break the wheel, Samara. The wheel is the wheel is our entire belief. The wheel. Okay.
Oh.
Remember, they want to egg us on. They want us to attack them because if we do, we've got no cause because she's not done nothing to break the wheel. And no will has come from on high to let us know there's open season on her. It's brilliant, it is.
Then why would Samara tell you to shoot her then?
Because
if you already knew.
Because she breaks the wheel if she tells me to. We have no cause to take her out because Vormus is the enemy, not her. We can't take anyone out in anger. We can't take anyone out just because they're a bad person. We can't take anyone out who's pissing us off.
And if Samara tells you you can, then you can?
No, if I do it, it's a trick. It's all part of a game. It's a mind game because then she's breaking it and then I'm breaking it. We're breaking it together. We do exactly what they want us to.
It's important in our society that we do not hold anger for those that we mark. I do understand your anger, trust me, I do. And I'm not trying to control that. What I am trying to control, however, is my own. Do you think I agree with what you believe? And absolutely not. That doesn't mean that I'm going to delight in more than likely going up against her when the time comes.
In which case, we'll just have to think of something together and hopefully with minimal witnesses. So that if someone does have to pop a cap in her ass, it'll at least be under the right rules.
Right. Because trust me, I like throwing hands. But I like sparring with friends. I like the occasional bar fight.
Just now is not the right time. She's
Exactly.
so obsessed with the perfect timing. We'll arrange it for her if she likes. And on that, I have to go inside and help clean up, or at least make sure Siren is actually okay, because he's upset and that doesn't happen. Thank you all for coming. Here, have stickers. Even you, and you can have a sticker too. And it's a sticker of anger from Inside Out. It's the whole sheet of stickers from anger specifically. All the others have been taken out.
At least it's not a fictional pirate this time.
Do you like pirates?
He looks down at his shoulder. No, I don't.
Then you will not have pirate stickers. Here, you can have... ooh, there you go. I have, like, weird, like, Canterbury Tale ones. You can have those.
And on that note, boys and girls, we will end our scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene in Darkness and Dungeon. Have a pleasant evening.